I wanted to take another look at one of these rational function word problems from our problem set, and I'm going to, in this video, I'm going to do number 4. And it says you have 10 liters of a juice blend that is 60% juice. How many liters of pure juice need to be added in order to make a blend that is 75% juice? So we've got a juice blend. We're going to add some pure juice to it to increase the percent juice of the blend. And so that's the thing we're looking for, is how much juice do we have to add? And so in my problem journal, I'm going to title this problem Rational Function Word Problem. And I'm trying to find a certain volume of pure juice. And I'll call that V. And the relationship here is really just a percentage. So when I think about the relationship that I have to use in order to solve this problem, it's just a percent. And it equals whatever volume of juice I have divided by, this is volume of juice, divided by the total volume. So volume of juice divided by the total volume. And I can apply this relationship to the situation that I start with before I add the juice, and then to the situation after I add the juice. And so let's think about this. We know that before we add the juice, right? We know we have a 60% juice blend. So that is, we have, and we know that we have 10 liters of it. So I know that 0.6, that's 60% as a decimal. And it equals whatever volume of juice I have in my original mixture divided by the total volume is 10 liters. So I've just used this relationship and applied what I know from the situation before I add any pure juice to this mixture. I know that the percentage is 60%. I have a grand total of 10 liters, so whatever volume of juice, of pure juice that's in my solution divided by those 10 liters is going to give me 60%. And maybe before we even move on, you can probably already figure out how many liters of juice we actually have to begin with in our mixture. And if I multiply both sides of this equation by 10, I just get V juice equals 6 liters. Okay? And so I know how much juice I have before I've added anything. And so after we add a certain volume of juice, and I'll say we're going to add that volume of juice, we're going to measure it in liters. So I'm going to end up with some percentage. And according to the problem, we want to end up with a 75% juice blend. So there's my 75% as a decimal. And I know that the total volume of juice that I'm going to have is the 6 liters that I started with plus V, right? Some additional liters of juice. And the total volume after I've added that juice, it's going to be however many liters I had to begin with, which was 10. And again, I'm adding V liters, so it's going to be 10 plus V. So this is my same percent equation that I wrote up here, but after we add the juice, we're going to have 6 plus V liters of juice divided by a total of 10 plus V liters of blend altogether. So we've actually used this information already, and now we just have one equation in terms of V, and all we got to do is solve it. So I'll begin by multiplying both sides of this equation by this denominator, and I get 0.75 times 10 plus V, and that equals 6 plus V. So this is from the multiplicative property of equality. And using the distributive property, I get 7.5 plus 0.75v equals 6 plus v from our distributive property. So it's just a linear equation with one variable. So I'm going to move it up here to solve it. And as I move that over, what I'll do is, let's see, I'm going to subtract this 0.75v from both sides. And so I have a 1v here and 0.75v here. When I subtract that from both sides, I end up with 7.5 still on the left, and that equals 6 plus 0.25v. And that's the subtractive property of equality. And I can use that same idea to get this 6 away from my term that has a v in it. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, and I'll have 1.5 equals 0.25v. Again, let me just do this, subtractive property of equality. And now it's just a little division problem. So if I divide both sides by 0.25, how many quarters are there in 1.5? There's 6. So I get 6 equals v by the division property of equality. So that's how many liters of juice I have to add in order to get my mixture up to 75%. And let me just write it like this, actually. I'm going to write V equals 6 liters. I want to report my answer with the appropriate units.